It's always a privilege for me to bring up this personality. But for today, I'm not privileged to bring this personality up. Because the weight today is heavier. And there's one man I want to bring up. He is the ordained billionaire, managing director and CEO of PWAN Royal. He has the capacity today to bring up this personality we're talking about. If your hands are not busy, help me welcome no other, our very own Mr. You're not clapping. I want you to start clapping. If you are clapping, it's going to come faster. Austin Ejiofor. Come on, put your hands together for him, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you. Today's session is going to be one of the very best we've ever been a part of, we've ever witnessed. Reason is we're going to hear the in-depth of that story that you've been asking for, that story you've been longing to know the truth about, the PWAN Success Summit. And of course, we're having wonderful people, the conveners of this wonderful occasion today. And we're going to start by calling up the convener of this Success Summit. But I'm going to start by reading out her profile. The profile of Dr. Jane Ulmer. Dr. Jane Ulmer is a multifaceted and dynamic serial entrepreneur, investor, seasoned business coach, and philanthropist who continues to change the narrative as a woman and leading force in her chosen industry. She is passionate about business, specifically real estate, as well as human empowerment and capital development. She is the co-founder of the Property World African Network, popularly known as PWAN, the first real estate network marketing company in the world, which was founded in 2012 alongside her husband. The exponential growth of PWAN into the multi-billion naira business is attributed to her passion, expertise, and track record, which lies in her innovative brand strategy and building, which she passionately possesses and passes on through mentorship and trainings, especially on the 5x5 matrix of network marketing. Her doggedness, influence, and achievement over the last decade was fueled by a major business setback experienced in 2009 when a startup she had birthed, Learning World Network, failed. While the onlookers and associates saw a setback, Dr. Jane stood relentlessly and explored new opportunities right within the storm that led her to championing the extraordinary about 2 years after the initial setback. As a woman who grew up with the ideology that the world belongs to those who show up, Dr. Jane indeed showed up in the face of a global challenge of shelter deficit, which she also experienced firsthand with herself and her husband being homeless and seeking shelter in 13 different places. Amidst tears, hunger, we turned to fasting and prayers for a turnaround. She was determined and remained resolute at changing the status quo, hence creating solution to an age-long challenge in the housing sector. This solution, the first of its kind in the housing sector, found expression in form of network marketing business model that the world has ever employed to market real estate products. And after several years of mastery of the model, Dr. Jane now sits at the pinnacle of the management board of PWAN Group, which boasts of 33 affiliate companies as Group Managing Director, GMD. With a clear vision and remarkable leadership, she today presides over about 32 managing directors with over 800 full-time staff spread across the 33 affiliate companies. Her relentless passion for network marketing and strength-based approach has built a growing network system with more than 50,000 independent real estate professionals, generally called P1 Business Owners, PBOs. The P1 Business Owners, which is the marketers base of the P1 Group, by 2020, during the pandemic, experienced exponential growth, making it one of the most grounded marketing network or group of independent real estate professionals with over 200,000 people impacted in the last 2 years. Dr. Jane continues to show her problem-solving skills even beyond real estate industry, as her desire to tackle hunger in homes again led to the introduction of the P1 Food Network, with the aim of ensuring there is something for everyone to eat. Yes, you can clap now, please. This current move is now known as a new revolution in Nigeria, where a lot of individuals who join the business through network marketing can now conveniently provide for their families on daily, weekly, and monthly basis. As an ardent innovator and problem solver, she also established the Founders Club, another first of its kind business model that gives millions of Nigerians, Africans, and even people around the world an opportunity to gain access to shared wealth through active membership, and to provide members with the best legacy plan that will enable them to scale up and earn income for life. Through her humanitarian services, Dr. Jane has helped uplift children across Nigeria by providing educates, as she believes that investing in the future begins with investments in our children. This was recently displayed strongly in September 2022 when she facilitated the renovation of 2 unmaintained primary schools in Nsukka, Ndokwa, and Yocha South LGA of Delta State, Nigeria. These also included the provision of furniture, new uniforms, books, and other educates. Among numerous educational qualifications, Dr. Jane continues to bag different certifications. She is an alumnus, Lagos Business School, and also attended the Owner-President Management Program at the prestigious Harvard University, Boston, Massachusetts, United States of America. Recently, she was conferred with an honorary doctorate degree by the European American University, Commonwealth of Dominica, following her contributions to making home ownership dream a reality for as many people as possible. In line with her contribution in the real estate sector, Dr. Jane was recognized by the Lagos State government as one of the top 100 most influential women, top 100 MIW, a recognition for her strategic, innovative ideas and empowerment programs in real estate network marketing. She has graced several platforms across Nigeria, trained and empowered thousands of women, and continues to mentor so many young people to build the life they want to see through one-on-one coaching and other programs she leads. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I will appreciate if you can be upstanding as we jam our hands together and make welcome Chief Ambassador Dr. Jane Oumer. One, Mama Africa. Thank you. So let's start, because everybody is eager, gingered, and attentive to hear from the convener of the Success Summit. So let's start by meeting you. Let's officially meet you.
Okay. Can you hear me? Yeah. Hello, everyone. Hello. And all those outside Lagos, I'm sure you can hear me. Welcome to June 2023 Success Summit.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is a great pleasure to be here. It's a great pleasure to be seated here. So I want to first of all give thanks to the Almighty God for today. I thank God. I bless God. I bless God. He keeps taking us from level to level. And He has just brought us into another level in the history of PWAN Group. My name is OJ Onwumere. I'm one of the conveners of the PWAN Group Success Summit. Thank you, Mr. Austin.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay. P1 officially started in 2012. When and let's say what inspired the idea of the Success Summit, the monthly Success Summit?
Thank you. Actually, the Success Summit started before P1 started. I'm sure some of you will be surprised to hear that, right? That the Success Summit started before PWAN Group started. But when God programs a thing to become a phenomenon, it overtakes everything else that is on its path. The Success Summit started before PWAN started, but PWAN has overtaken Success Summit. And today, Success Summit seems like one of the programs of PWAN, but it actually started before. We had a business that failed in 2009. That business started on the 12th of June, 2009. And by the 12th of December, 2009, it was gone. Well, it went into what I will call a lowdown, because it may come back again. But by 12th of June 2009, 12th of December 2009, the business practically folded up. That is the Learning World Africa Network. Folded up and threw us into a lot of debt. And you know what we know as June 12th in Nigeria, right?
Sure.
So we just made up our mind that our story is not going to be like June 12th. You understand that the success of our life is not going to become a story. So sometime in 2012, early 2012, we decided to start a platform called Success Summit. Success Summit. Now, we tell everybody about the law of attraction, right? You attract what you want to see by continuously saying it or trying to do it. You may do it and fail, do it, but if you continuously do it, there's something called a learning curve in life. You will exhaust all the negatives, and the positives will begin to come. But what happens with many people is that they give up on the negative. They give up. So they won't go down the lane long enough to see the positive. So we decided to start Success Summit. This platform was called Success Summit from the beginning. We started something we called Success Club. Like everything I do, it was membership. You understand? But people started later in the same 2012 and overtook Success Summit. Success Summit became like a program of the PWAN Group, but it was actually before PWAN. Now, it was supposed to hold, the first one was supposed to hold in January 2012. If you are in Nigeria, then there was a fuel subsidy strike. That is why I'm saying that today's program is so apt. It is, I think God just ordained it to be like this today. There was a fuel subsidy strike in 2012 January, if you remember. Who can remember that fuel subsidy strike? Anybody over 12 years? Anybody over 12 years will remember. That was in January 2012. So we couldn't hold the Support Success Summit. We shifted it to February, and it held in February. Dr. Philip Ibunijeso was the first speaker. And we were less than 20 people. I don't think we were up to 18. Maybe about 15, 16 people in the hall then. For those of you that ever attended a program of PWAN Group in Protea Hotel, the Oakwood Park Hotel, we used to hold it in one small conference room in Protea Hotel. You understand? So that's how Success Summit started.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So imagine that. So the first edition was about 18 people, you said?
Less than less
And
than 20
today,
people.
guests in this hall right now, we should be having, if not 500, then more than 500 people at
Yes.
the moment. Please jam your hands together for this initiative.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And of course, I'll be right to say from inception, we've had 12 editions. That every year times 12. That's about one times 11.
Apart from 2 or 3 occasions that we couldn't hold.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, 2 or 3
Thank you.
occasions that we had certain reasons in the organization. I think the first one was May 20. Who can remember? Well, sometime in May, about 5 years ago, May 2018, we did not hold. And then May last year, we did not hold. And April this year, we did not hold. To honor people very dear to us who were part of this success summit too. Yes.
Okay. What actually informed the decision? Because initially it used to be every month in Lagos. What really informed the decision to do this in 12 states of the Federation and of course 36?
I want to believe that, when something reaches maturity, it just begins to take a new dimension. Sometime in, I think last month, before then, Dr. Mrs. Vera Oberabo had, she wanted us to begin to hold Success Summit everywhere. But somehow I felt it wasn't time. But something happened last month, and we decided to have a Success Summit in 2 other locations. That was in Abuja. Dr. Sutobi, Dr. Chinedu Ezenwa anchored that. And then we had one in Asaba, anchored by Dr. Julius Oyedemi. It was awesome. It was amazing. And then Dr. Mike went to Ishanland to go and hold a program. The turnout was massive. We just felt that it's time to take this further. You understand? So this month, we decided to hold it in more locations. We also discovered when Chinedu and Julius went to anchor this program that we actually have the resources we need to hold this program even in 100 locations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We have the resources. So why are we holding it in one place and our people in other locations are crying out for? So this is just like, let me say, a pilot scheme. But next month is going to be different until we begin to hold summit in every state in Nigeria and even in other locations.
Wow. Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. We still want to know what are the positive effects of these success summits. What do you think are the positive effects?
I want to say that the most important, the really, really most important, is that it brings us together. Every month.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Every month we have an opportunity to come together as one. We have an opportunity to come together. Some people, I want to say that some people have, tried to say 1 or 2 things about every month they're just gathering. But I want to tell you that there are some of us in this organization that look forward to today.
That's true.
We look forward to today. So removing it is like taking away something really important. You can hear me this way, right? Yes, okay. So the summit means a lot to us as an organization. That's number one. Number two, it gives our people an opportunity to showcase the organization to others. They invite people to the PWAN Success Summit, and some of them, after attending the summit, even get started as PBOs. You understand? Certain life has been changed from this platform, this particular Success Summit platform.
Thank you.
You understand? So I think that's the major reason why we hold it. And also, the Bible told us that we should not destroy ancient landmarks. This is an ancient landmark of the PWAN Group. We're going to structure it, put it into a document form that generations to come will continue to do it. Yes. Ever since I've known the Redeemed Christian Church of God, they've been doing a monthly program they call what? Holy Ghost What do they call it? Holy Ghost what? Holy Ghost service. They've been doing it every month and they have not stopped. Every month. So they hold it in different locations. And from those locations, they also plug into the headquarters and they're all one. It is something they all look forward to. You know, and P1 is a ministry. We used to say it's like a ministry, but I think P1 is just a ministry. It's not like it is a ministry. So we continue to do this. It gives us an opportunity to come together, share love, share whatever we have together, and go back again.
Thank you.
Yes.
You have been credited with the famous quotes. Investing in land is good, but investing in people is better. What actually made you come up with that? What did you see? Is it experience, life experiences? What have you know? What really made you come up with that quote?
Mr. Austin, what do you think? Do you think that investing in people is good?
Well, of course, you've invested in me, and I think so. I think it's good, by the way.
So you have your answer.
Okay.
There is no better investment than investment in people. Every other thing we do pass away, but investment in people will never.
Yeah, that's a good place to clap, by the way.
Investment in people will never do so. So it's something we are going to continue to do in the PWAN group, investing in people from generation to generation, from level to level. I want to tell you that there are people in this our platform who never thought that their life will amount to much. But God directed them, God guided them to this platform. And today their life is different. Their story is different. And let me tell you one thing about change stories. It is not about the person. When your life changes, a whole lot of people are impacted. So God is not changing your life because of you. God is changing your life because of a lot of people that you are going to touch. Yes.
Thank you. That's actually a good place to clap too.
Yes.
Okay. I would not be wrong to say you are an inventor. Okay, that's why I've actually likened you to Thomas Edison, the Wright brothers, and the other likes. You have actually invented and initiated a lot of programs, and like the PBO, the P1 Business Owners, Eagle Summit, Founders Dinner and Award, the P1 Convention, the Success Summit. Okay, so briefly, I want you to talk about each of them, starting with the P1 Business Owners. Because I remember what we used to have before used to be partners some many years ago, right? Right now we have PBOs and it has overtaken. Those coming new right now, I'm sure they don't understand partners. So PBOs, talk to us about that idea.
Okay, when we started P1, before we started P1, we noticed a gap in the real estate industry. You know, whenever you see a problem in the society, if you notice that problem, God actually has already given you the answer. Because the problem you notice that becomes a burden, if you dwell on it long enough, you find the answer for it. Now, we noticed a gap in the real estate industry. And what was that? Or a problem, let me rather say a problem in the real estate industry. Before P1 started, commission has always been paid in real estate, right?
Sure.
But at times, one person takes the commission and goes off. And Chairman and I, we used to hang out in Ikota. Ikota has housed a whole lot of people that have nowhere to go. So we used to come out to Ikota, hang out in any shop, hang out around, and we noticed a problem. Real estate was like the major business around here. Now, people will make a sales of land, of rent an apartment, or rent a shop. Normally, the commission will be paid into one person's account. And when that commission is paid, that is probably the occasion for the person to solve all his problem. Because there is something about the human mind. People always think that, I have this money in my hand, let me quickly solve this problem. I will make money and pay. But things don't work like that. In fact, you are likely to get into more trouble when you do that. That is why when you have money in your hand that does not belong to you alone, give it to wherever it belongs. You know, that faithfulness, that action will actually bring more money for you. But in this case, people will collect commission and zap. And when they catch themselves, they will go to the police station. And we used to see it happen a lot. So when we started P1, we wanted to solve that problem. And with our knowledge of network marketing, and also say with my passion, I'm actually very passionate about network marketing. Network marketing is one business I call a life changer, any day, anytime. It is also, I call it an equalizer. You know what an equalizer is? Yes, with network marketing, you can make enough money to match your neighbor.
Wow.
You can even make more money than your neighbor,
Wow.
who even works in an oil company.
Wow.
It just depends on how focused, how determined you are. So we introduced the network marketing system to real estate. Then, from the beginning, initially we called them independent marketers. From independent marketers, we call them independent business development executives. They didn't like the word independent, so we changed to consultants. But then something happened. As a consultant, you're supposed to be very knowledgeable about it. But we're still learning, we ourselves. So one day we just spoke up and said, these people are actually more like our partners. We change again to partners. But, okay, I think we changed to partners before consultants. There was a problem that came with the partners. A lot of them will use their ID card. We had an ID card then. They will even use it to borrow money. And the people will come to the office to look for us. You are a partner in the business, right? So a lawyer said to us, we call these people partners. It can actually put us in problem. You understand? So we changed to consultants. I think it was from partner to consultant. And then during the COVID period, a lot of our PBOs were home doing nothing. They could not go out. They could not do inspection. And normally, what I do as such is I begin to think, what can we do? I want to also say that during that period, we paid out palliatives to PBOs, to what is today known as PBOs. Who can remember how much we paid out? 6,000. We paid 6,000 naira to so many people to help with. It wasn't going to do much, but I remember so many people really testified that it helped with food. So it just occurred to us that these people are not just consultants. They're not just partners. They're not just business development executives. They're actually P1 business owners. Because if P1 is not working, they're not working. If P1 is working, they're working. So what is the difference? They are PBOs, they are P1 business owners. So on the 1st of May, 2020, we officially changed to PBO. So that was how PBO came about. PBO!
Wherever you are.
PBO!
Wherever you are.
I will say PBO wherever you are. Whether you are in Sokoto State, in Taraba, can you hear me? Or you are in Kano, wherever you are. Once you are a member of the P1 group, you are a P1 business owners. And to drive it home, as I was coming today, I came with my children. These ones are P1 business owners also. You know why? Let me tell you why. Most of an adult life, or a lot of your time, should be spent with your children.
That's true.
But they miss us while we go about working. And some of them are already learning the business. My daughters know a lot of things about it. And if you remember some years back, when we had the children's program, the child ambassador answered even more questions than even staff. You remember? Yeah. They knew more about P1. So it's just a matter of time. By the time they're 18 years, they're coming into this business. You'll be surprised that some of them will not do any other business except the P1 business. So what are their P1 business owners?
Wow, thank you. And that's a good place to clap, by the way.
The next one you talked about is what?
Sorry?
The next one?
Yeah, Eagle Summit.
Wow. What are we in P1?
We are eagles.
We are eagles. We are eagles. And, in every business organization, there must be a way of celebrating achievements. Eagle Summit is like Success Summit, but for a few. For a few. In a bigger way, but for a few people. So how many of us are going to be in Eagle Summit next year? How many of you are going to be in Eagle Summit next year? And what about you? Eagle Summit next year. And where is he going to hold? Where is he going to hold?
Mauritius.
So how many of us want to go to Mauritius? The time to start work is now.
Thank you.
Eagle Summit gives you something to look forward to at the end of every year. So when you work, do not work haphazardly. Work with understanding. You understand? Find out what does it take to qualify for Eagle Summit. Success Summit is open to everybody, right?
Yeah.
But Eagle Summit is not open to everybody. It's the eagles fly very high. And I want to believe in a 5-year lifetime of every PBO, make up your mind to be in Eagle Summit, even if it's once every 5 years. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Please jam your hands together for that. Okay, the third one we want you to talk about is the Founders Dinner and Award.
Okay.
It's actually a very unique program. We want to hear about that.
I just felt, and let me tell you something else too. Please learn from everywhere you go and learn from everything you encounter. A business, P1 business, will not have any flavor if we don't have programs like the Eagle Summit, Success Summit, and other. Will it have any flavor? No. You just come, you make your sales, you collect your money, you go. It will be very boring. I was in Lagos Business School in 2015. And Lagos Business School is a model, a business you can benchmark. I benchmark a lot of businesses. Did I just say business? You may call Redeemed Church, but it's also a business. We're actually right in their premises right now, right? We paid for this venue. Yes, so it's also a business, Now, I was in Lagos Business School, and every year they do what they call the President's Dinner.
Okay.
The President's Dinner in Lagos Business School. Now, during the President's Dinner, it's an opportunity for a certain group of people to come together once in a year. So at an appointed time, at a reasonable time, I just felt it's time to introduce that into P1. We had the first one last year, right? And then we had another one this year. And it's already taking a new dimension, right?
It's going to be every year.
It's going to be every year.
Oh, lovely.
Founders Dinner.
Okay.
When we are no longer I'm going to live for another 50 years. In 50 years' time, when I'm no longer
lovely.
here.
Okay. Another 50
yes,
years.
When I'm no longer here, you just continue to celebrate it.
Okay, lovely.
Those of you left behind should continue to celebrate the Founders Dinner. And at that time, of course, it will be anchored by the president of the organization. But while we are still here, it's the Founders Dinner, and we're here to anchor it. Chairman and I.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you so much. Thank you. Please, applause for her, please. Okay, the fourth one is one of the biggest programs we normally have, which is the P1 convention. What informed the idea of the P1 convention?
You know what? P1 convention started in the very first year of P1. You know where it held? Who can tell me where it held? It held in Elaromwe. We went to Elaromwe to hold a convention. But were you in that convention? You don't remember? In Elaromwe, in Falkland Estate, Open Heaven. The estate will later change the name to Open Heaven. That was where we held the first convention. We took Canopy to that place. So what you call product launch today was our first convention.
Wow.
We took canopies to the place. We took a DJ. We cooked food and we took it to that place. And then the Omoniles joined us. We invited the Omoniles that have sold land to us in that first 1 year. And we had a convention. What is a convention? It's just gathering of people of like minds. That is what a convention is. So from the very first year of P1, we've been having a convention.
Okay.
We'll be holding a convention. It evolved like everything in life would evolve. It became bigger It became more participatory. Today, when we hold convention, we celebrate top achievers. We celebrate other things during the convention. Actually, it was actually the convention that made us start Founders Dinner.
Oh.
I wanted an opportunity to also celebrate directors. Something we can use to celebrate our directors.
Wow.
Because everything generally is focused on PVO. But believe me, directors also work extremely hard. And I felt we needed something we'll also use to celebrate them. And I'm sure it's something directors are looking forward to today. Are we not?
Very well.
Directors, are we looking forward to it?
Yeah.
We're looking forward to Founders Dinner. But it is not even going to just be directors only. Certain achievers among the PBOs, even people that have touched us, it could be the agents, it could be contractors who do excellent work, agents who render excellent service. Some PBOs will also be celebrated during that Founders Dinner. Everybody wants to be recognized.
Thank you.
Everybody loves recognition. And those opportunities, those Founders Dinner convention give us the opportunity to celebrate and recognize people. And I'm sure it's something everybody look forward to.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, okay, we're going to talk about this last one, and that is the visionary speaks. The visionary speaks.
PBOs, can you still hear me? Yeah. Thank you. And PBOs outside this hall, I'm sure you are still with us. I want to thank you for hanging in there. Before I talk about Visionary Speaks, let me use this opportunity to recognize PBOs everywhere right now. Presently, we have PBOs in Asaba under the leadership of Dr. Fred Opaji. As early as 7:30, 8 a.m., they were ready. The hall was set. Dr. Fred, I celebrate you people over there. Thank you. Thank you for holding for them. We have PBOs in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, under the leadership of Dr. Julius Oyedemi. Dr. Julius and others over there, thank you. Well done. And in Calabar, we have Obuefi leading there. Obuefi, Emmanuel Obuefi, thank you so much. And all the other leaders in Calabar. In Bayelsa, we have God's will order that we know has increased over there, together with Barrister Eze, the P1 Homes zonal leader for the South-South. They are in Bayelsa anchoring this event. God's will, Eze, and all others there, thank you. Thank you. Well done for holding forth in Bayelsa State. And in Rivers State, we have DK, the Managing Director of P1 Lighthouse, holding forth. Thank you, DK. Well done. And in Edo State, we have our very own Dr. Michael Akwetie, the Group Executive Director of Recruitment. Mike and his wife, Carol. Carol has been there even before Mike went over. She organized the road show. Thank you both. Thank you, and all the leaders in Edo State. Thank you. In am I missing out anyone in the South-South? In Calabar, in Uyo, I've talked about these ones. In the Southwest, we have Mary, our own Amazon, right there in Oshobo. She was there on the road yesterday leading her team to storm the streets of Oshobo. Mary, well done. Thank you. And in Akure, also in the Southwest, we have Mr. Franklin Mwigwe, the General Manager of P1 Max. Thank you so much, Franklin and the leaders over there. Thank you so very much. And then we go to the North Central, and we have Abuja. Wow, every anchored. This is, I think, one of the first time that Dr. Verabo is going to somewhere without his without his wife. But are there. Early this morning, they were ready to go. Dr. Berabo, the real estate giant, the MD of PWAN Premium. Well done. Thank you so very much. We have Kano, Haliru, and his team. Thank you so very much. Thank you for holding forth. We have Taraba, Abisoye, and his team. Thank you so very much. We have Plateau State, Jos, with our own three-season bazaar. Anu Kanti, Chibeze Anu Kanti. Chibeze, thank you for going over to Jos to hold this event. And all the way in the United States of America, we have Dr. Christie and one of our PBOs, Ike Ndure, holding forth. Thank you so very much. I understand that Dublin could not join us, but Pastor Amaka, I'm sure by next month you will be live in Dublin. Thank you so very much, Amaka, the Dublin team. I don't know if I'm missing out anyone. No. I've talked about Port Harcourt, Mr. IKDK, Bayelsa. I've greeted the people in Bayelsa.
I think that is all.
Is there any other one? Yeah, thank you. Let's put our hands together for
Jam
all
your hands together for all these centers, all the states, all the managing directors and their team.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We say big thank you to them.
Something occurred to me. We have everything it takes in the PWAN group. Whatever, yesterday, is Bolaji here or has he got to you? Where is BG Atlantics?
He's not here.
He's not here. A few days ago, I was talking with his chairman, and the chairman was reminding me of what I said the day he came to tell me that he was setting up an affiliate with BJ. He was expecting a different reaction from me. He was surprised to see my excitement. Bolaji, all of you know Bolaji. And he was not expecting the excitement. I mean, I was so excited. I said, wow. Oh, that's great. Why? In the home, in the compound of a big man, expect everybody. Expect, and that is what just occurred to me in PWAN Group. In PWAN Group, we have beautiful, we have, if there's anything like ugly, the Bible made me to understand there is nothing like ugly. We are all fearfully and wonderfully made. So there is no ugly person in God's house. In PWAN Group, we have everybody. By the time we are having Success Summit in every location, in several locations, not only directors will go to anchor Success Summit, even for the PBOs. Tony Obodo is going to Adamawa State next month.
Wow.
To go and anchor summit. All we have to do is to provide the ticket and the logistics needed for summit to hold in that place. We are going to be able to do summit everywhere. And I'm going to tell you what summit does. I used to worship with Salem. They started that ministry with 7 people. Mother, father, and 5 children. Today, they are in several locations. That is what Summit has done for the PWAN Group. Every time we gather, in the beginning, we are little. We are not many. By the second time, another has been added. By the third, some others have been added. You can imagine having Summit today in 15 locations. And there are people in all that location. Even when we begin to do it in 30, 36, in the month of July, we are going to be doing summit in 22 locations.
Wow.
Now the visionaries, I'm speaking, okay? Now, so I'm just going to give you an insight into what to expect. That is what Visionary Speaks is all about.
Wow.
So I've taken you to what Visionary Speaks is all about. It is, in any time you start a business, you start anything, the first thing you do is to cast a vision. But you cannot see further than you can see. Are you getting me?
Sure.
Even with spiritual eyes, you are not God. You cannot see further than you can see. So what it means that at every turn, you have to cast a new vision. At every turn, you have to cast a new vision. We started by looking for 300,000 to rent an apartment. Then we discovered that this can be a business and can solve the same problem for other people. And today, those other people are solving the problem for other people, and so on and so forth. So Visionary Speaks is a platform I used to, one, emphasize the vision and also to cast a new vision.
Thank you. Wow. Please
Thank you.
jam your hands together for Dr. Jane. Okay. This brings me back to this particular question. I have worked in a couple of companies, organizations. At least I have banking experience. I've worked with the IT companies and one of the media and then one or two. I have not actually seen an organization that creates a platform for staff, partners to be rich. What is the mindset? Why is PWAN different? In fact, a particular experience I had when I was working with one of the commercial banks, my merchant teller, Jake, okay, my merchant, I don't need to call his name. He actually bought a Murano Jeep, and the Murano Jeep was bigger than what my HOP was driving as at then. And then he was asked to, what they started doing, whenever we balance for the day, they'll go back and start checking whatever to rebalance whatever the guy has done, because it was suspicious. Why would you drive a Murano Jeep that your HOP was not driving? Right? This is a big commercial bank. But in P1, it's different. Why have you done that? What is the idea behind creating a platform for people to be rich?
Like 500 or
So
more,
500,
right?
yeah.
Let's say 700. Let's say 800. If everybody here is rich, what will I be? Very rich. Now, but that is not the standpoint of the business. But what I mean is that when you create opportunity for others, you're actually creating opportunity for yourself.
Wow. That's a good one.
Yes. When you create opportunity for others. I remember I used to drive an Optima. I'm not somebody that is really so bothered about material things, you know. But I'm not everybody. People have their individual differences. Then there came a young man in our organization called Julius, and Julius likes cars. And Julius said to himself one day, if we don't change this woman's car, we won't drive bigger cars. So what has he said? If they don't change my car, they won't drive bigger ones. So what it means is that you want to drive a bigger car, you come and change my car.
Wow,
so if I
okay.
already have one, I now have two, but you're going to get one, isn't it?
Yes.
So creating a platform for people to excel helps you excel.
Wow.
You know, some people, I grew up in Igbo land where I saw a lot of things happen as a young lady, as a young woman. I grew up in Nnewi. My people are mostly into trading. And I remember watching the scene. When it is time to settle somebody, one problem or the other comes up and the person will not be settled. Somehow the guy does not want the ball to become bigger than him, so to say. But what he did not know is that he's working against himself. Can you hear me on this side? Yeah. He's working against himself. If you create a platform for somebody to do well, you will do better. Now, there is no guarantee that that person will do well. But you've created the platform, right? You've done it. If the person does well, because you are not the custodian of wealth, it's God that is the custodian.
Sure.
He gives to whomsoever he wants to give. If that person does well, you will automatically do well. But if every time you see somebody getting up in your organization, and because you don't want the person to be bigger than you, you do something that will stop the person's growth, you are also stopping your own growth. You are stopping your own growth.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
So why don't you? The only thing with me is that I'm a very strict person. I will create opportunity for you, but you have to work it out. Now you come to me and say, GMD, I want to earn, let me say, 5 million naira every month. The first thing I will do is to pick up my calculator. Then I will open my calculator and say, okay, assuming for you to earn You have to earn 1% of whatever you do in the month to earn 5 million. What will that 1% be? And I will tell you, okay, can you do this? And if you can do that, you earn the 5 million. Isn't it? Very simple. You are the one working it out. A man's work must give him pleasure. If a man's work does not give him pleasure, he won't have the desire to work again. If Chinedu Ezenwa wants to drive a Prado, and I put my feet down, Chinedu, you're not going to drive this Prado. Sooner or later, Chinedu will lose interest in the work. Right? Isn't it so? He wants to travel to wherever. And I said, no, you cannot. I don't like flying. So that could be a good reason for me to say, no, you're not going anywhere. You understand? I make myself fly because you must come above your fear. But assuming he's somebody who likes traveling every month, now his passion is to see the world, and he's making money to be able to see the world, and you try to stop him, it will affect the work. You understand? It will affect the work. So even what you get, you will not get, right? And he was the yeah, somebody is the person bringing it. You know, so for me, creating the platform, I think is the best thing God did for us.
Wow.
It's the best thing God did for us. With the platform today, I was talking to Chioma and my nephew in my house this morning. I said, in a few years' time, I won't have the energy to work the way I work. But I know that a whole lot of people here will be there working. But if I was the only one, what happens when I'm no longer able to work? Our first child is just 10 years old. Are we going to put this burden on her?
No.
What if she wants to be a dancer? She may want to be a dancer. There's nothing wrong with that. She may want to be a musician, like the ones we were watching yesterday. Yeah, that may be where her passion lies. It may not be in real estate.
Okay.
So creating the platform ensures business continuity. I've just talked about what it does. It helps me grow. It ensures the business continues to thrive, right? And you can reach, the third one, you reach more people. If you say your vision is to make home ownership dream a reality for as many people as possible, how many people can you do it? How many people can I do it for? But all of us doing a little.
It amounts to
Austin,
much.
you do 5. Doris does 5. You do 5. You do 10. You do 20. You do 30. Are we expanding?
Yes.
Yeah, like today we're doing seminar, Success Summit in several locations because of the platform.
Thank you.
So for me, it actually gives me quite a lot of pleasure. If I have to do it again, I will do it the same way.
Thank you, man. So we're going to just take 2 more questions and then we're out. But we're going to ask now. 12 years ago, or 13 years ago, an idea came up. Okay, that is the P1 idea. Did you ever, when P1 started, did you ever imagine? Did you see the future? Did you ever imagine it was going to get to this big? Or you just started and said, let's just see how it goes, and then every day a new thing unfolds? Or did you ever imagine it was going to be this big?
Austin, you went with us to Kigali, right?
Yeah, sure.
Did you imagine it was going to be the way you saw it?
No, not at all.
Simple. You can't imagine it. It is not possible for you to imagine it, but you can believe it. Do you understand? You can believe it. Now, when P1 was about to start, what we were looking for was 300,000 naira. In fact, at this point, I want to rise up and bless the name of the Lord. Yes, please let us stand up and bless the name of the Lord. Yes, let us do so. None of us, there is no way I will say, Chairman will say that we expected this. We didn't. But in life, you can be seated. You can sit again. Be seated, please. But in life, you must step out in faith. You must step out in faith. I remember when we started the PBO program, one woman came up to me and said, if I join with so amount of money, what if I don't get anybody to join me? You know, let me tell you how I focus on things. I don't focus on the work. I focus on the possibility. But the truth remains that the possibility can only be determined by God.
That's right.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
What can become can only be determined by God. But God tells us to walk in faith. Walk without faith is what?
Dead.
Dead. And faith without work is also dead. So you walk in faith. There is nothing. If any human being gets up and says, like I hear some people say, I'm going to be a billionaire, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that, you don't know whether you're going to be or not. What you know is that the Bible, God told us that all things are possible for him who believes.
That's right.
So you believe and you go to work. But if you believe and you stay in your house, nothing is going to happen. Now, some people will say, I've been in P1 for so and so number of months, I've not done this, I've not been able to do this. You are not the determiner of time. And like Dr. Julius Oyedemi taught when we were in Kigali, he said, maybe there are things you are not doing right. You can look around and see what others are doing. But for you to say, from beginning of your operations, that you are going to grow this kind of organization is being arrogant.
That's true.
You can't say. But God knows what can happen. So just make your plans, look at it again and again, and go to work.
Thank you. So, we're going to end with this, finally. I don't know how many years more you are still strong, of course, young. I don't know how many years more you are willing to work. But I'm so sure that in the next 30 years, I don't want to say 5, I don't want to say 10, I don't even want to say 20 years. In the next 30 years, I'm so sure you're not going to be in the system. And 70% of the managing directors will not be in the system. What would you hope for P1 to be at that time?
You know, the Bible tells us something. The Bible says, oh Lord, teach us to number our days, that we may apply our heart to wisdom. A lot of people leave work without doing that. I was telling them, what I am doing in the P1 group today is working on making sure we have a good system. I wanted to say a perfect system, but it's only God that can. Yeah, that is perfect. But I'm working to make sure that we have a good system. There is no quantity of estates I will put in the market today that Chinedu will not put more, that you will not put more, that Julius will not put more, that Tonya will not put more, that a whole lot of younger people here will not do more. If I can go to Abuja every week, you can go to Abuja 3 times in a week. I will still be ready to enter the plane again. You understand what I mean? So for me, wisdom is that you begin to put things in perspective. Like I said to Julius in Kigali, setting up the affiliate is the defense for P1 homes. Now, the affiliate, setting up affiliates, is another defense for the PBOs. You understand? And eventually, the PBOs will do the same thing, further defending the PBOs. Now, there is something I'm doing in P1 homes today that is also going to be a defense for P1 homes. It is not every company in our organization that can do it.
Sure.
You know, right now. But in another few years' time, they can. We have right now structured P1 homes into 6 geographical zones. There are 6 zones in Nigeria. We have the southeast, we have the south-south, we have southwest, we have north-central, we have northeast, and we have northwest. And each of these zones is in a group right now, what you may call a cluster. Now, in the southeast, which is made up of Anambra, Imo, Enugu, Ebonyi, and Abia, we have an old hand in the organization, Eziaha, in charge. Now, by this time, in the North Central, Engineer Innocent, also made up of about 7 different states, 6 states plus Abuja, making 7, is in charge. We have Haliru in the Northwest, we have Abisoye in the northeast, we have Barrister Eze for the south, and we have Barrister Damola for the southwest. All these people are younger than me. All of them. And they've just begun to even work. Now, they have a year. By March next year, every state in PWAN homes will go independent. They will begin to work on their own. But for now, they're under a cluster. By March next year, when PWAN homes will be 12 years, each of those states will function and be answerable to the leader there. Yes, and from there,
that's a good one.
Go further. You know, now coming to the group itself, I've always told every director from beginning that we're not building business for our children. Did you hear me again? Can you hear me? We're not building business for our children. We're building business for posterity. The Bible did not tell us to build business for our children. That is why in Africa, a whole lot of business starts and crumble. Because what we want is I, myself, and me. You understand? You want a Range Rover for your son. You want a Lamborghini for your daughter. Everything you want for your children. What about the people that work with you in that business? You understand? Now, what God told us to leave for our children is what? Inheritance. He said, a good man leaveth an inheritance to his children, to his family, to his kids, even up to the third and fourth generation. So that is what the Bible told us to do. That's what God expects us to do. You understand? You know, so with all these processes in place, systems in place, I want to tell you, in all truthfulness, if I travel for the next 1 year, nothing will happen in PWAN.
Sure. Because the system has been created already.
If I go away if I say, Vera, don't invite me to Summit again, Summit we hold everywhere. Please, by the way, let's put our hands together for Dr. Mrs. Vera Obera.
Mama V.
You know, I said that in every season, there is a person for a season. The person for our summit in this season is Dr. Vera. Believe me, I don't know how she organizes all the things she organizes.
Most valuable player for the year.
I do not know. Seriously. She really deserves a lot of accolades. Vera, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Austin, 30 years is, if I want to continue.
The system is set.
The system, it may not be fully set, but it is as good as set.
Thank you.
And I'm sure that all of you, some of you, a lot of you that have been listening to me over the years, God forbid I'm not here today, some of you will come together and say, this is what Mama would have done. She would have done it this way, should have done it this way. And the truth is that as you begin to do, you will discover other ways that maybe be better than the way I'm doing it. But because I'm in charge, you are still looking up to me. By the time you are thrown into the ring, you will begin to see what you have to do. Believe me, and I mean it, and I'm not joking, and I repeat it again and again. If anything happens to PWAN Group, with all the managing directors, all the PBOs in the group, believe me, I will visit you. Even if I'm going to be with the Lord. Yes, we have been fed well enough to know what to do.
Sure, ma'am.
The first thing I want you to have in mind is people. Every time you face a situation, think of how you create a solution for people. That should be a starting point. As you are thinking of how to create a solution for people, you will find answers.
Sure.
God does not do anything because of a person. He does things because of his people. And if you have that mind, you are a mind that is after finding solutions for people, God will give you answers.
Thank you so much. Jam your hands together for Chief Ambassador Dr. J. Oumer.